heavily customized, and I don't know if I can do it yet. But anyway, there's that, and then life jacket. Always wear your life jacket. Like I said, we are a like a NASCAR team, so we wear this over everything else all the time. It's one of the really cool things about the 49er is that it's very close quarters racing. We sail shorter courses than all the other Olympic classes. Most Olympic classes their target time, which they stay at target time for all the races. Those are 1 hour. Ours are 30 minutes. We'll sail fewer boats on the course, so normally we'll range from 20 to 40 on any one course. If it's more than that, they'll split the fleet, and then you race. There'll be a qualifying series. So let me kind of start over. There's a qualifying series, a final series, and then the medal race at all these events. So there'll be 2 to 3 days of qualifying where they split the fleet just based on randomness. The first day. Second day it'll be first in one fleet, second and third of the next, fourth and fifth back with the first, and so on down the line. Does that make sense? So that way they're trying to make the fleets even. After that, the top 25, and that's a fixed number, top 25 go into gold fleet. So whereas now, and I've been talking about the medal races being kind of like our pinnacle spot, like, oh, we made the medal race. The first year we did this, it was, oh, we made gold fleet. So one good thing about this is that there's stepping stones as you go up. So it's close quarters racing. I really like it that way because it's tactically challenging. It's a lot like college sailing and high school sailing, really. There are, not that many boats, close together. A lot of it is just boat-on-boat tactics, so how you position your boat coming into marks better than the other guy, and you get out ahead of him, and that's pretty much it. That's one thing I really like about it. Obviously, the speeds are much faster than 420s, but same idea. And I still sail some of those boats at times, and I enjoy it. Rigging intensive. The 49er is one design. It's a strictly one design boat in theory. There's only 2 builders of the hulls. We own Mackay from New Zealand. The other builder is Ovington in Great Britain. The mast, there's only one builder, Southern Spars, and the sails are McDiarmid, Neil Pride. That's one company. They make all the sails. So as opposed to 470 or Finn, they do a lot of sail, mast, not so much hull, but sail and mast development. We just use what we get. We try to find the fastest, one mast and one sail that we like in case there's little differences, but for the most part, it's, sailor against sailor. Rigging differences you make are really just how you tune your shrouds and how you trim your sails, and then just, other than that, how you make things easier for going around the course. So I've got a few things on rigging actually here. I talked about tuning shrouds. These are like the most important tools that we have that never go in the water. So this is a tension gauge. We'll put it on the wire, pull this spring back and put it on, and then it gives us a number to show us how much tension is on the shrouds. So we'll range, see this goes from 5 to 45. Our shrouds will range from like 24 in very light air up to 40. So we put a lot of tension on the boat. It's one of the reasons the boats don't last super long is that they kind of will end up bowing up at the front because we're putting so much tension on it. And, so it's like a canoe. And you don't want that. We want it to be solid. So that's our tension gauge. This, homemade, lots of homemade things. This goes on the mast. We slide it up. And the mast, if you see a picture of it on shore, you'll be amazed. It goes up and goes way back. There's a lot of rake on it. So this we use to measure that bend, and that's how much power we have in the mainsail. So I'm learning a lot about sail trim and tuning. Before this, I mainly did college, and in that it's like, how much alcohol did you have on? It's a big question. There's a little more going on. And then I talked just about comfort and things. This is our spinnaker sheets. We went through, I think, 5 different kinds of lines before we settled on this. This is supposed to be luff rope on big boats. And the reason we use it is that it's pretty rigid. You can see it doesn't really fall over very much. And so it doesn't get kinked. If it gets knotted and kinked and things, then it's not good. I guess that's all really I can say. It's not good. But we also have these marks on them. If we're too far from this mark, I know that we're going too high or too low, driving wise. Hopefully I'll figure that out before we look at the mark, but this is just like our safety blanket. We know we got the marks. And then this mess of line is our main sheet and jib sheet, which get tied together in the boat because we're always trading. Trevor, the crew, trims the main sheet going upwind, which it takes a lot of teamwork with the crew trimming the main because anybody who's ever sailed a dinghy, most of the time the skipper has main sheet in one hand, tow in the other. And if you change, say you head up a little bit, you probably have to trim the main, or if you head down, you got to ease the main. So your power changes. Especially on a boat like this, where balance is everything, keeping the boat perfectly level, you really have to be on the same page. One person can't make any adjustment without the other person either knowing that he's going to make that adjustment just naturally because he feels the same thing, or one person verbalizing it. So constantly, if you heard us talking on the boat, which we didn't really in that segment, but most of what we say is just speed and height. So if we want to go speed, then I'm going to head down a little bit, and he's going to ease. If somebody says height, that means I head up, and he trims. And it's a lot of time. I can't count how many times we both said the same thing at the same time. That's good when that happens. It's bad if one person says speed and the other person said height at the same time. Then we're on different pages, and we got to figure it out. But so anyway, he trims the main sheet, I trim the jib sheet. This is my jib sheet, complete with soft hands cover. And this is the main sheet. We do a lot of we make all our own lines, and we don't make the lines. This is the knot I told you, they're tied together. And then there's a bungee holding it all into the boat so that it's not dragging out the back when we're sailing. So it's all pretty simple, but we make all our own lines. Like you can see, we splice that into there. We got these little bungees in here. Just all. Basically, we have too much time on our hands. Gotta do something on the plane. So that's it, and then this the last little thing in my bag. This is that compass I was telling you about. So there we go. So we are facing 220, 215. So this is like the most important piece of equipment for me making the decision. We just mount this actually up in the front of the boat. It's tied on with strings. Keep it very light and forward where I can see it. So that's okay. That's the end of the show and tell. Now I promised more videos, so we have more videos. Starting in Santa Cruz, we went out there for a 10-day camp before going to Perth, Australia. We went this year. I told you the Worlds next year, the most important regatta. That's the second half of our trials and the World Championships. That's in Perth, Australia. Who knows what's been in Perth, Australia before?
America's Cup.
The America's Cup. In what year?
87.
Yeah, and what was it like?
Blowing.
Yeah, so that's what we're expecting. They actually have a name for their sea breeze. It's called the Doctor, and the Doctor is in pretty much from December until February, and so we went down there. We were there for and most of November really. We were there